Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck movies. My name is John.
And my name is John.
On this video it's going to be John's come along with a bag of stuff and I'll leave you over to John's good hands.
Just a select few titles here which John's got to purchase of me. Okay, I give him a great price as I normally do. You
do, John.
And I've got a fair few freebies to come out later on. Okay, so stay tuned. There's some good stuff in there. Just bear with me a second. Right, the first title up is the Luigi Bazzoni Gialli, the fifth chord, starring the great Franco Nero. Now this is the Arrow release, as you can tell. To be honest with you, it's been a long time since I've seen this film. I would think the first and only time I saw this was back via the Redemption VHS release of the 90s, which, going back quite a while.
Wow.
I think if I remember rightly, I think Nero plays a washed up reporter who stumbles across these murders and becomes the amateur sleuth and effectively attracts the attention of the killer. And I think I seem to remember at the end, I think Nero has a bit of a fight with the killer or something in an alleyway or something like that. But like I say, it's been a long since I've seen the film. I was younger back then. Watching it again now, I may well spot things I never noticed before. I might enjoy it a lot more than I did the first time around. In fact, I think Luigi Bazzoni also directed, was it Footprints on the Moon? Which is meant to be one of these very dreamy, very surreal giallo.
I've heard that title actually.
Yeah. Well, Shameless did a DVD of it some years ago.
Oh yes, I do remember it actually.
I think Florinda Bolton's from Don't Touch Our Duckling and Lizard in Woman's Skin.
Really?
Yeah, she's in that. Anyway, it's, I believe it's on Blu-ray as well now. But fifth chord, like I say, I'll be looking forward to watching again sooner or later. But I've got a copy of this in the Giallo Essentials box at the Arrow release, so I don't need the single release anymore. So there we go, my friend.
Thanks. Well, actually, when you were talking about this, I thought, well, I'm sure I've heard about this recently, but I haven't seen this cover. But obviously, when you said it's out in a box set, that's so has this been out a while? This one, John? Because I think it has. Remember the cover?
Yeah, well, it was released separately, like that. And then it's been reissued in the Giallo Essentials box set with the Possessed and what was the other one? It was the Pajama Girl case, the Ray Milland Giallo. Now, if you look at the other Arrow Giallo Essentials box sets, I think they've got some titles in there which have been released separately previously. I mean, the third volume which is coming out, that's got the iguana with the tongue of fire, and this is one of the.
I think I've got that.
Yeah, the Night Evelyn came out of the grave, was it the way?
Yeah,
it's one of those ones I can't think. But it's also got the other Sergio Martino Giallo, the Suspicious Death of Mine or something like that. But again, I think Arrow seems to be taking some of these single releases and packaging them in box sets.
Yeah.
Which makes it a bit awkward if you've got these. You know what I mean? It can be a bit awkward.
I suppose it's good for people who haven't picked up any of them.
Yeah.
You can go and get the whole lot in one go, or if you bought the 5 ones, you've got 4 of them.
Yeah.
And you think, I've got to go and get this box set as well. That's when you sort of double dip. You can get rid of some, I suppose.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, really, with these Giallo Essentials box set, you expect to find new titles in there, don't you? Not so much as things which have been released before.
I've got these all. I got them last week. Brand new 2K restoration. What year is this from, John?
I think it was 1975. I could be wrong.
Right. It's an early Giallo.
Oh yeah, it's early-ish. Yeah.
Excellent. And it's like I say, it's one of those ones that I wouldn't have. Actually, it looks very Criterion-esque, that cover to me.
It does actually. Now you mentioned, I never noticed it before, but now you've said it. Yes, you can just imagine the Criterion logo at the top. Oh yeah, it wouldn't look out of place.
You're right there. Excellent.
And the next one is the next one is a title I've never seen before, despite being a fan of Italian, cop thrillers. And this is Sergio Martino's Silent Action, starring the genre stalwarts, the late great Thomas Millian and Luke Miranda. And the last time I saw Luke Miranda was in Hostel 2. He has a cameo role in that. This is the limited edition Fractured Visions Blu-ray, limited to 2,000 copies. With the original soundtrack CD and also collector's booklet. As you can see, it's a sort of like a rigid slipcase.
Slipcase that.
I believe the transfer on this, based on online reviews, I think is 1080i. Now, why it wasn't 1080p? You tell me. Your guess would be as good as mine. I mean, really, in this day and age, we should be getting 1080p transfers rather than 1080i.
I agree, actually.
You know, the last time I saw a copy of this was at the weekend in HMV. I think it was £25 thereabouts. So, but John's going to get us so much more pocket-friendly price. Okay, so I've never seen this film, so I can't really comment on it. I mean, I've seen a few cop thrillers, not this one. But Sergio Martino directing, Thomas Milian, Luke Miranda. I think Mel Ferrer's in it. From Nightmare City, and
he's in quite a few, isn't he?
He was.
More than you would think.
He was. Well, apparently that was a bit of a bone of contention with him, because when he was married to Audrey Hepburn, when you think about it, Audrey Hepburn was doing big movies in big Hollywood studios, and he was doing Italian exploitation. So exactly, so there was a bit, there was one extreme to the other. But have a look at that and tell me what you think.
Well, actually, because I've got the other one, and there's two come out, wasn't there? And this is kind of, I would say, is the other one.
You've got Free Hand for a Tough Cop, which is made by it's got the same label, Fractured Visions. That's the one with Claudio Costanelli in it.
Mm-hmm. And I know from that one that I had, although I haven't watched that one yet, it's an excellent addition. So I know that this one, and I wouldn't care, it's one of those ones where I think, I'll have to get this one. And when John talked about it, I thought, well, yes, that's the other one that I needed.
Yeah.
And to be honest, usually when I go looking for it, I can't find it, and I thought it was massively out of date.
Yeah.
Sorry, massively out of print. So you think it's still in print? Do you think at this point?
Well, when I bumped into you at HLV at the weekend, there was one still on the shop there, but I think it was about £25.
Right.
Which may well tell you it could be getting scarce. I don't know.
I got the other one for £18. I think it was the other one that I got. But I think I did see this one, but I went back to pick it up. I thought it was long gone, because I think that these are the ones that would. I don't know how big this company is at the moment, for how rare their stuff gets, how quick, how. Do you know how much this is, limited to? Or
it's 2,000 copies on the back, if I'm not mistaken.
So obviously they've still got some left.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think the other one, the Free Hand for a Tough Cop, the other one you've got, that was Umberto Lenzi. I think Milian's in that as well.
I think it's great. I remember you talked about him to me on the first time you talked about this, got him in it. I thought, well, I'll check him out. But after you said that, and I've got a lot more movies with him in, I think he is absolutely brilliant. He's one of those ones that he's not talked about that much, but he's excellent, I find.
I think in the mainstream, next to nobody would know him, but in cult circles, especially with Italian cinema, he was a living legend. Obviously long gone, but he was in just a load of films, spaghetti westerns, cop thrillers, you name it. He was all over the shop.
Was I? Did he ever do any horror films? Actually, was he in that Lucio Fulci one?
He was in. Was it
Beatrice Cenci?
Yes, and he was in Don't Torture a Duckling. I think he's in that as well.
He is actually right.
And I think I thought he was in the Cast Victims. I don't think he is. That was somebody else. So he's done Giallo. He's done Giallo as well as but apparently all the while he was alive, he was never out of demand. He was somebody always wanted him in the film.
That's him there, by the way, in the middle there, Thomas Milian.
In fact, I think he's in JFK. The Oliver Stone film. I think he's in JFK, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
It just shows he gets around. Excellent. Very happy with that. Look great in the shelf next to the other one. I wonder if have they done any more of these ones? I think it was only the two.
Not as far as I'm aware. Of course, I know you want to make sure that it's in the right numerical order.
Oh yes. Yeah, it'll have to be. I'll have to. I was just talking to John there earlier on. Just had a little look in the shelves, and I said I'm going to do a little bit of altering, not too much, but I'm going to move things around a bit, and so I can get things like this more in a better place, not really in the place I want them at the minute, but I'll get a little bit of a section going for this type of thing, like a bit more. There's not many of them, but there'll be a few ones I can put next to them, other ones that aren't. There's not loads in different collections, but I'm putting them together so they look a bit like a nice shelf.
Bit of a colour corner.
I like it. Excellent. Thanks very much, John.
Okay, and the last one for now is the disaster movie. Well, I should say a disaster movie thriller, Rollercoaster. So I believe it's Joseph Bottoms or Timothy Bottoms and George Segal.
Yeah.
Okay. Now again, I remember seeing bits and bobs of this on TV when I was a kid. I've never seen it all the way through. But this, I've got every intention to watch it sooner or later. Just God knows when. But this, as you can tell, is I believe it's now out of print. The 101 films, the slipcase edition with the booklet. 2 Blu-rays, one version, the theatrical version. The next disc is the uncut version. Now, apparently, the Shout Factory Blu-ray is cut.
Really?
Yeah, it's I believe it's missing some. I think it's early on in the films where one of the bomber strikes, and I think a lot of people die.
Yeah.
And I think you lose some shots of people's dead faces, whatever.
Yeah.
Which I believe are in the uncut version on this Blu-ray. So this version scores in that way.
Yeah.
You get I think a few more extras here. You get a booklet as well, of course. Again, you can't go wrong with these kind of slipcases. They just look great on the shelves.
Yeah.
So again, that's number 3 in the collection. So yeah, that's what you have.
And I remember now. Am I right in thinking this was originally a TV movie? I'm not, because I always thought of this movie as I must have saw it 15 times on the telly.
I'm not too sure. I could be wrong. I don't think it was, mind you. It just may be the fact that it's been played on TV that much.
Yeah.
You would think, well, it's a TV movie. I mean, it's
because at that time when there was all these disaster movies going on, Poseidon and Town and Inferno,
all of that,
you would get this movie in with that ilk, and they would be on. Like I say, I saw this loads of times on the TV, and it's a movie that I haven't seen. I saw a lot, but not for a long time. You get those movies where it was never off the telly.
Yeah.
But as soon as you just don't watch the telly anymore, you realise it's like 30 years has gone past, and you haven't actually seen this for 30 years. But I've got vivid memories of this movie. Especially, what's he called, Timothy Bottoms?
Yeah.
With his whole, because he's like clean cut sort of guy, wasn't he? But he was obviously, there's no spoiler alert to say he's a bomber, and that just went and wreaked havoc in this amusement park. And it's quite, actually, to be honest, apart from Final Destination 3.
That's just what I was thinking of that.
There's not many more movies you can see in this sort of vein, can you? It's a bit of a, what year is this? 1976? Is it?
I think something. Yeah. Actually, when you think about it, do you remember there's also, I think, a fight on a roller coaster? Was it Shakedown, aka Blue Jean Cup from 1989, James Glickenhaus, with Sam Elliott and Peter Weller? Is it not a fight on a roller coaster in that film? I think that's something like that. I could be getting confused, but I think there's a
Blue Jean Cup.
Yeah, I can't remember thinking much of it myself, but I think there was a roller coaster fight on a roller coaster in that scene. I think in that film, sorry, if I remember rightly.
Well, I'm very happy to get this one because I have seen it without the case on and everything for a few times, and I've always thought, should I get it? And to be honest, the 101, the black label, I really like. And what I'll do with it, I don't buy them all, but I will buy the ones I like, probably when they come out, when I like one, just to know that I'll get it in this package. And to be honest, I've got practically all the ones I want, but this one's one of the ones that went past, and when I realised, I thought, I'll go and get it now. It was just gone.
Because you did acquire Existence of me last time, didn't it? Existence, the corner. Yes, I thought you did, yeah. I mean, I've got to be honest. When 101 films first came out, I said some very harsh things about them because the first few, the initial releases, as far as I'm concerned, were pretty pathetic. They're
a bit sort of very low budget, right?
They were at the time when they first came on the scene. They were very much like, I barely have ever touched any of their releases, but I have to be honest with the black label. I'm quite happy to buy those releases because the excellent releases. I've got like John. I've got most of the ones I want.
I do like them, but I find that a lot of them, or not a lot of them, the ones I don't really want are ones I would never have anyway.
Well,
as if I would kind of just one or two. I mean, sometimes you can see in the Italian collection or slasher collection, there's ones that you wouldn't really navigate out straight away, but you would think to yourself, I think they're all right in there. But with the black label, there's a few that I thought, I don't know why.
Well, if you look at 88 films, now when they first came on the scene, they were doing like a lot of the Charles Band stuff, the Full Moon stuff, that sort of thing. Now there was nothing back then which really gave you any indication of any greatness, if you know what I mean. But since the introduction of the Italian collection, the slasher collection, that's when the company really sort of shot up.
Yeah, you're right.
Again, the same thing with Arrow. When they were in the early days, they weren't really that much was talked about until the Masters of Giallo range back in about 2009.
The early sort of Blu-ray, the early DVDs from Arrow were kind of didn't even take any notice of them, did they really? The very early ones.
I remember having that. Was it Day of the Dead and the Brood on? I think it was DVD. I think they might have done VHS as well of them. I could be wrong, but they were pretty just bog standard, truth be told.
Like a little bit better than Vipco, but not much.
Yeah, I mean, but when you say how far they've come now, it's, I mean, not just Arrow, but 88 Films, you know, Second Sight, you know, greatly forward. And
these are starting to really sort of like become a little bit more than they were. I can see these being the ones to kind of watch a little bit this year.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, like, going back to 101, I mean, who would have thought when they first came out, who would have thought you would have ever seen the likes of like Hell Night and Spookies?
Yeah.
You know, and they're going to be doing the Nightmare on Elm Street documentary, Never Sleep Again, that's coming out shortly on Blu-ray.
Yes.
I think 2 discs. Mm-hmm. And of course, they've done the Crystal Lake Memories.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise.
So you would never have thought, you know, that like a company like 101 really went, you know, really progressed a bit, you know. Yeah. And I'm quite happy to give credit when it's due.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I enjoy the film.
Well, I'm made up with these 3, so I want to thank John once again for getting them across to me. And as soon as he said, "Would you like these?" I said, "Would I not?" So when John came over, we did a live stream, which I'll link down below if you haven't seen already. And this is just me telling you and John what I thought of these movies, and I've ranked them in picture quality. So first up, the lowest picture quality, and they're all good, don't get us wrong, is Silent Action. Now, this movie is released by the company Fractured Visions. Great company, fledgling company, I think they're just starting out. It's a region free release. If any of these movies are region A, I'll tell you, these aren't region A. So, in here, like the other one, which is sitting over there actually, which I'll get. This is the other one from Fractured Visions, which I got quite a while ago. And this was, I think there's only 2 out at the moment. So there's your alternative artwork. I'll put that on there so you can have a read of it. And also, you can see the special features on here. Now in here you get the great booklet, which is full of pictures and text. And you also get the Blu-ray, and you also get the compact disc of the soundtrack. So that's something you don't usually get on releases like this. You usually get maybe a DVD, or you get like extra bonus features on another disc. But to get a CD soundtrack, which I'm going to have a look on this one. Has this got a CD soundtrack? No, you just get the ARC cards and you get the movie there. You don't get a CD soundtrack. Highly recommended, this company. Now the picture quality on here is pretty good. It's a 2K restoration. It's pretty sharp, pretty colourful. It's one of those ones where you think some of these movies do scrub up really well. I don't know when this movie's from. I'm going to say definitely 70s. And it's directed by Sergio Martino. That one's directed by Umberto Lenzi. So I hope that they do progress and do more of this stuff. Great version, great movie, great quality as well. So that's Silent Action. Next up came The Fifth Chord from Arrow Video. This has got a booklet in, nice booklet. It's got alternative art, but I haven't flipped the alternative art over because the alternative art is in Italian, which doesn't bother us, but sometimes on the shelf when it's on there, because I can't read Italian, believe it or not, I wouldn't really know what that was. I'll try and say it. Giornata nera per la rete. Wow. So I'll not go too much into the specs of this one, because obviously John's told you a lot more than I could tell you about this movie. I'll put the back on there so you can read it for yourself and see what you think of it. So Giallo, great picture, great special features. That's The Fifth Chord. So the best picture quality on this video is Rollercoaster, 1977. This is the Black Label series, which is just over there. Can't stretch. That's where we are with that one. Haven't got them all, but the ones I've got I really enjoy. This is a great set, as these are. That's a great picture. That, to be honest, I think that could have been put onto the main cover. Got no reversible art on this one, but the booklet has got tons of stuff in it. I remember this movie. It seemed to be on the TV all the time, and it's one that seemed to be, you know, every Christmas or so it was always on there. In the set here you have the 2 discs. Now the 2 discs are the 2 different cuts of the movie. Now John was saying there's like extra go in there. Uncut version, which I'll be watching, and theatrical version. So the uncut version on there is literally only maybe another minute or 2 longer. I'll put that on there so you can have a read of it. Great film this. Very highly recommended. One that, like I say, used to be on TV all the time. Lots of movies used to be, didn't it? And you just don't see them anymore on the TV, which is a big shame. So thanks to John once again for coming over. Please take a look at that live stream that we did. It was really good. I really enjoyed that. And I have got a lot more unboxings. They're all up there at the minute. I've actually got them, and I'm wading my way through them. I've watched a couple of them actually. Got some great movies there. Can't wait for you to see them. Okay, so thanks for watching. You take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.